Magic the Gathering is a wonderfully deep and inventive game with combos and tens of thousands of cards, but sometimes it just feels good to attack for 2 on turn 2. What is up, my friends? Welcome to the official MTG Arena YouTube channel. My name is Jim Davis, pro Magic player and full-time content creator, playing some Standard today in the wake of the 2023 World Championships, just wrapped up recently, and I was there playing in the event, which was really cool. Came in 40th place, not too shabby. Won 6-2 in Standard with white aggro, which we're going to see right here, right now. But first, real fast, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content on this page from content creators like myself and others. Looking at the deck list here, we can see we're not messing around. 18 basic planes, of course, 4 Mishra's Foundry and 2 Aganjo fill at the mana base. Nice and simple. One of the allures of playing a monocolored deck is no mana screw, no mana problems, no tap lands. At our 1-drop slot, we have Hopeful Initiate and Recruitment Officer both coming in early and hitting fairly hard. Some utility here. Officer can draw some cards later in the game. Initiate can kill some artifacts and enchantments. And then 1 copy of Skrell, Deflector Might, which is not a human, but still a very, very good card to have to protect your other cards. 2-drop slot, we see a couple big ones. We've got Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Thalia is a huge card in every format and a very, very good here in a deck that has almost no spells in it. We also have the new Spellbook Vendor, which is a great new card from Wilds of Eldraine, which allows you to put Sorcerer's Rolls everywhere, pump your creatures, scry some cards. And Coppercoat Vanguard, which is a way to pump your entire team and defend them a little bit with War, which is great. 3-drop slot has perhaps the most important card in the deck in Adeline, Resplendent Cathar, which is a huge creature, 4 toughness, hard to kill, makes tokens, just the linchpin card of the deck. Extraction specialists can save your dead creatures, like Coppercoat Vanguard and Spellbook Vendor, which don't need to attack to have their abilities work. And then Peacekeeper can come in here as a way to slow your opponent down, hit their key spells, their Attraction, their Sunfall, and so on and so forth. Also new from Wilds of Eldraine is Virtue of Loyalty. The adventure here makes 2/2, and the big 5-mana enchantment side pumps the entire team. This is really, really good in the mirror, really, really good in later games. Then we have the removal spell of Ossification, which is a really, really good kill spell in this format. 2 mana to kill anything. It's really important to kill Shieldred and stuff like that as well. Looking at the sideboard, we have a few more removal spells here in Lay Down Arms, where you get against mono red or other must-kill creatures. Destroy Evil, very similar. Can kill Shieldred as well as other enchantments like Leyline Binding. Invasion of Gobakon, it's a great card to have against the ramping control decks. Take their Sunfall, take their Atraxa, and then also provide some protection by attacking it. And then Wedding Announcement is the big juke card. So the fear when you're playing a deck like this is your opponent will bring in sweepers and extra removal spells like Listening Deluge. Well, Wedding Announcement allows you to kind of keep playing around that. So they have single target removal spells. You play Wedding Announcement, which is an army and a cam, which is really, really good. And the Wandering Emperor, kind of similar idea, kind of a bigger card to bring in against, the mirror matches and against mid-range decks as a way to have a change of pace kind of threat. Pretty simple here, nothing too crazy, but that's the deck, that's the sideboard. Let's get right to the games. All right, it stands great. 1, 2, 3. We're on the draw, unfortunately, but we have our Thalia into Adeline. We've got our removal spell and a Aganjo for a little flood insurance. Hand's pretty excellent. What do you got for us, opponent? Obviously, prefer when the die roll, but all right. Mono red. Flavor text lands. Here once a spear. We draw a Hopeful Initiate. All right, so play the Officer first. This can block one of their 2/2 hasters. On the draw against mono red. Need to play a little more defensively. We're kind of like the bigger deck. It's important to kind of know your role in a matchup. If you ever read the article by Mike Flores, written about 20 years ago, called "Who's the Beatdown?" Pause the video, go read that, then come back, because honestly, it's a seminal piece of Magic strategy writing. So basically, you need to decide: are you the aggressor or the defender of the matchup? Usually, we're the aggressor, as the white aggro deck with Thalia and Adeline and so on and so forth. But mono red has more burn spells and more reach, and our cards are kind of just better than theirs on average. So we're the more defensive deck. So play a land here. Gonna play Thalia. Thalia is pretty great against mono red. Obviously, all their burn spells cost 2 or more. And might take their entire turn to kill it, which would be great, giving us time to resolve Adeline. Definitely would like to play Adeline and get a token immediately, because I have immediate value off of it, but here's Scoundrel. I'm going to put a roll on it, I assume. Well, they could do something else, maybe. They can discard a card and draw. Nope, going to make a Wicked Roll, sure. So, Wicked Roll, going to put it on the Swiftspear, allowing it to attack into my Thalia. But that's all they can do. They have no other spells they can cast because Thalia is in play. And now we have an active Adeline, which is excellent. So, draw land, not a Aganjo, just fine. I mean, don't draw lands. We have to play a Aganjo, which is fine. Obviously, we have our Adeline lined up here, which is great. Get Adeline in play. Adeline's huge. Get the attack in, get the token in, and now we're starting to snowball with Adeline, which is good. Still at a pretty safe life total. We have Vendor and Initiate and 2 removal spells, obviously being taxed by Thalia, which is fine. We're just going to trade tokens here, which is fine. Keep Adeline big. Drawing a land next turn, so we can go Vendor plus Initiate plus make a Spellbook would be awesome. Wouldn't mind that at all. And now, you know, we can see here how they've dealt the early damage, but our cards are just better and bigger to do more stuff. So here's this spear, here's a scoundrel, but they're not really getting through super well. And we can't always just cast ossification too. Do a long pop sport up. They don't really have good attacks here. Oh, never mind. Okay, they think they do. So they're gonna attack. Very, very aggressive play, honestly. This is getting in for 2 damage and giving us carte blanche to attack next turn, which is awesome. We draw Adeline. We don't draw a land. We can Spellbook Vendor here. We put the Spellbook onto the Adeline itself, make a pretty large blocker, which is nice. Need to be aware of them, you know, chaining a burn spell plus a block to kill Adeline. I think I like that though. You know, ossification costing 3 right now. It's just not very mana efficient. So play the Vendor. We'll move to combat. Pay the 1. And we're going to put it on the Adeline. Putting it on Thalia doesn't really make it so Thalia's harder to kill. So we're going to put it here. Keep Adeline huge. Attack for a huge chunk of damage. We're going to bottom the Vendor. We're looking for lands right now. So we're getting for 5, 6. We're getting for 8 damage here. They're going to trade again, which is great. And now we can decide we want to just, you know, block with Adeline on one of these Spears. Probably trade, which is great with their spell and the Spear. Spend a lot of our turn doing that. And they have a second Adeline in hand too. So see what they want to do here. They've been taking a very, very aggressive stance the entire game, but I feel like it's not really, they're not dealing as much damage as we are, nor are they adding to the board as much as we are. So we're in pretty good shape here. 2 cards left, 4th land. So a card like Lightning Strike costs 3, so they want to attack with both and use a strike to finish off Adeline. That's like really good for us, so. In the tank, double Scoundrel. Here they come. Alright, so we're going to block. So here's the block. And we're going to take 2. They didn't play a spell, so I mean, they must not be planning on playing a spell here. Because obviously they would play it for prowess. They're just going to play a 2/2 adversary. That can't be it. Oh, wow. Oh, man. What a massacre. Alright, so this game's basically over. We're going to play Hopeful Initiate. And then I guess we're just going to fire up our Vendor. We could Ossification and not use the Vendor. They're at 11. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11, yeah. So I want to try to kill them. Alright, so Ossification. And that. And it should be exactly 11 damage. We got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Works great. So definitely pretty good matchup for Mono White. You know, the thing is that our threats are a little better, and we can defend ourselves reasonably well. Now we go into boarding, and things change a lot. So they're going to bring in a lot of more removal spells, cards like Lithomantic Barrage. They might go bigger also, and try and play more controlling role with their removal spells into like Planeswalkers. But we're going to bring out Late in Arms. We're going to bring a Wedding Announcement. We're going to bring in Wandering Emperor. And we're bringing the Emperor. Maybe not the Emperor. And now it's a little awkward. Thalia is actually really good against them. But it obviously taxes the spells we're bringing in, which is a little awkward. We're on the draw. I could see an argument for just, I don't know, let's see. So let's cut the Peacekeepers. Like I just played in Worlds the second I'm brought a sideboard. We're definitely cutting Peacekeeper. It's not very exciting here. Specialist is great. Wedding Announcement's great because it plays well against their removal plan. The Vanguards aren't great against them. However, they do have a similar role to Thalia in that it kind of taxes their spells. Most of our spells are removal spells. And Thalia, of course, taxes our own Wedding Announcements and cards that we're boarding in. We'll cut the Thalias. Cut the Thalias. And then we're going to shade the Skrelv because the life is kind of awkward. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Skrelv here. We're not really looking to defend our stuff. We're looking to kind of go wide here. So, Invasion, Destroy Evil, Skrelv. Wandering Emperor's pretty good too, actually. Better than Wandering Emperors. And let's cut like Hopeful Initiate, Recruitment Officer. Officer's very, very good on the draw. Can block their 2/2 hasters. Hopeful Initiate's probably the worst creature. We want our cards to be a little more impactful. I don't think Coppercoat Vanguard is very good in a matchup like this. It's very easy to kill, but it does like sort of Flag Bearer in that it like takes the fire off your other creatures. Plays well with the Extraction Specialist too, so they kind of kill it, you Specialist it back, which is pretty awesome. Alright, so opponent takes a mulligan, and our hand's pretty good. We have a removal spell, 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. No double white, which is fine, obviously. We'll figure it out as it goes. Adelaide Enforce, one of our better threats. On the draw with our removal spell, it's nice. So Goal here is mostly to stay alive and use our kind of superior card quality and kind of overpower them with cards like Adeline, Wedding Announcement, Wandering Emperor. Definitely important to try and get value out of our cards. Cards like Adeline, which makes token when you play it and attack. Spellbook Vendor, and you get the Sorcerer's Roll. Want to get that value each time you play one of these. If you just play a vendor and they kill it and we get no value off it, that kind of sucks. So you want to make sure we're trading up on these exchanges every time if possible. Here's come on up. You take one. Totally fine. Draw the third Foundry. A little awkward with our Adeline lay down arms hand, but we'll try and work that one through. We would like to get value of us, like I was just saying, but given the option of playing nothing or playing vendor, we're going to play it. So, second Kamana. Kamana is obviously a little awkward against our Extraction Specialist, too. You see Plains number 2. Cool. So, we're going to play land. We're just going to attack and play the vendor. I know I was saying that we wanted to get value off our cards, but we can't do nothing here. So, play vendor. They might just play a fire it. That's fine. Next turn we have Adeline. We also want to try and guarantee we have a creature in play for the turn we cast Adeline. That way we have the ability to immediately attack with it and get that token, get that value. Mono flips. They missed the trigger on... They didn't miss it, but they didn't use the trigger on Chapter 2 last time, which is good. Ooh. There's a huge Godric. Let's draw a Plains, please. They're going to attack. We're going to block a vendor here, because right now we're on the back foot with this huge Godric. You need to draw a Plains to lay down arms to Godric, so you only have 2 Plains in play. We have Adeline, which is pretty good, but this is a huge threat, so draw the Plains. Awesome. So, choices here are play Adeline, attack for 1 and make a token, or just lay down arms the Godric right now and not take any more damage. I think that Godric is big enough that we're going to do that. This is a pretty mana inefficient play. But this is a play where we're saying that we're kind of ahead on card quality, and we just don't want to die. You know, we take another 5 damage this turn, 6 damage this turn, now also we're at 6, and we can just get first out. So, attack for 2, attack for 1, I mean. We can see why we boarded these out. They're pretty small, honestly, and don't always size up. 3 cards in hand, 3 lands for them. A little bit of a think tank here. Urabrask's Forge. So, this is their plan, they're saying my plan is to play rule spells. This is going to be my plan, my way to win the game. So, that's fine. We can build towards that. We got Adeline. We got an attack. We got a token. Adeline can block the Forge token, though it risks dying to a shock or something like that. We'll see how we want to work it. We do have Virtue of Loyalty. We can just cast the Virtue also, which is kind of gas. You're so weird. They're going to attack everything, aren't they? Really, really, really want Adeline to live. They have 1 card left. If it's a burn spell, they get to trade up here. We just can't afford. Because if it's a burn spell, and we don't block, say they lightning strike us for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now we're just dead. So we have to block here. Kind of sucks, but that last card's a play with fire or a lightning strike. I'm sad, but it is what it is. Obviously, it'd be bad either way. So, Monstrous Rage. Sure. All right, so we got a 5, and they did a pretty good job this game of getting things going. We can this thing has trample too, right? Makes a X1 trample and haste, so it'll be 3 next turn. Hard casting Virtue of Loyalty doesn't really get us out of range of this thing. Forge is pretty good, so you can see how Forge plays well in a slower game, kind of similar to our Wedding Announcements. We can Ossify, make the token, attack, and then Virtue next turn. The problem is we're never really going to size up against the Forge. It'll be 3 power next turn, we're not going to have 3 toughness. But once you add the counters, though, that's actually pretty cool. Once we add the counters to with the Initiate, we can actually kill the Forge using the Initiate, which is kind of gas. So, I might just need to attack here and play the Virtue. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, we'll attack. Obviously, we get the value of untapping our creatures, too. They draw a good spell here, we're probably going to die and go to game 3. But, untap. Now we have 2 counters on these, so now we can actually use the Disenchant on this to kill the Forge. Might prioritize Initiate a little more in game 3, now that we see they're bringing Forge in. If this card's good, we're probably dead. If it's a blank, we'll probably win. That's good. That's a good one, yeah. So, this is trample too. Yeah, we're, so now we take 3. We block here. We can ossify. Still kill the forge. Yeah, I guess we're like, I mean, we're at 1, so we're probably going to die. But here's Adeline. Play land. We need to ossify the dragon. Then we need to hopeful initiate kill the forge. This is gonna have 4 power next turn. I guess I'll have a 5 toughness Adeline, right? We could actually just play Adeline here. Although the token just gets blocked. So Adeline with 5 toughness can block the Urbrask Forge. And the hope, yeah, alright, let's do that. Let's get on the board here. Let's attack. Make a token, free block. Probably should have attacked. We're not gonna block, that's insane. Alright, sure. So we died a Kimono, we died a Play of Fire, not a lot of cards here. But we are actually putting a pretty big clock in play, all these Foundries too, so we can kill them pretty quickly. Charming Scoundrel. Discard a card, then draw a card. Pretty good. It's just an Elvish Visionary. Oh, they have Wicked Roll too. Alright, never mind, we're just dead. Support, Wicked Roll, if one of us dies. I have no way to block this and have it not die. That works. Alright, so the Forge got us that game. Definitely being on a draw kind of stinks. They mulliganed a few times, but they had a pretty decent start. Now we're back on the play. Gonna bring our hopeful initiatives back in. And what are we gonna cut? Like the adversary for the life gain. Officers aren't as exciting. Could just cut the Vanguards. Vanguard's actually also a little awkward with the Initiates, because it makes it hard to get counters on it. Lay down arms, Vanguard. Let's cut the officers. Vanguard also pumps the wedding announcement tokens too, so this is fun. So on the play for game 3. Okay hand. Not the best, honestly. No removal spells, no 1-drop, but can't mulligan it. We have, copper coded to Adeline. Vendor as well. Opponent's gonna think about their hand for a little bit here. Little doodads. Definitely, we really want to have our removal spell or 1-drop, but even a wedding announcement, just like some sort of like just dopey creature. All of these die pretty easily. Adeline doesn't die that easily, but obviously if they have barrages and stuff like that, it is an important card. The problem with Adeline here is it's going to be hard to have that creature in play to get that immediate value off it like we were talking about earlier. So, see what we can do. Probably going to lead on Copper Code Vanguard, just like let it die. Try and get value out the vendor. We see a mulligan from our opponent. Long thought mulligan. We got Foundry and Ganjos. We draw like planes here. We still have a little action, which is kind of nice. But definitely looking to draw lay down arms, ossification, wedding announcement. Basically, it's the cards we sideboarded in. That's really in the tank here. Make sure you hit that subscribe, follow button, of course, here on the Arena YouTube channel, and then of course check out my content. Your name is MTG. Hashtag shameless. Mountain. Come on. Draw the 1-drop. Right on time. Alright, so let's play Foundry, and let's play Copper Vanguard. Let's see what's up. If we want to play a creature this turn and not our rule spell, we have to play a second Vanguard, and now we have Ward on all of them at least, which is kind of cool. Pretty sneaky card here in the Aftermath set. One has a Foundry also. Kind of incentivized to want to play a creature this turn because of a Chapter 2 on Kimono. And they do. Alright, so they play their creature, but now I get to play my creatures. And now I have the option of Adelining, getting our token, or just doubling up and playing another Vanguard. We draw Extraction Specialist, which would be really good, but unfortunately the Kimono, backside of Kimono, exiles things. It's kind of hard to get that going. Play the land. Adeline attacks for 4 also. We're going to Adeline here, yeah. Just to take our shot. So, we get to attack for 4, put a huge creature in play. And it is ward, too. Like, ward for 1. Mana. And now next turn can be Vanguard plus Officer, Vanguard plus Vendor. Again, Specialist, unlikely to do much with the Kamano in play, which is a little annoying. But a lot of pressure on my opponent here to have both a land and then, like, you know, a good spell or 2. Lithomantic Barrage being the worst possible. They're going to Godric. Wow. Going to race here? Here's Godric. It does have the Celebration ability thanks to this thing entering the battlefield. So they attack for 4. But now we're in on the ground, and we've got a lot of options. Second Vanguard is kind of nice. Really pushes the damage through. Yeah, we're just second Vanguard and Officer and just attack with everything. That way they can't, if they want to trade these 2 for Adeline, it's fine by me. That's still a huge board, another Adeline. You know, they have to celebrate next turn to get Godric going, so... Alright, here's Vanguard. Here's Officer. We are really big right now. So, every human has 3 power. We have 8 right here. And if they double block here, they take 3, 6, 9, 12. And they're already at 16. So, kind of an odd goldfish game where both players are not interacting at all. Even though both decks are full of removal spells. Taking 8's pretty tough here, honestly. And now also everything is double ward. So these have single ward, these have double ward. Probably have to double block the Adeline. I just don't really see how you can do anything else. Alright, so they agree. They're going to take 12 damage. So barring a Vampire's Vengeance, something of that nature, which would be backbreaking. That would win the game for sure. I guess I would untap and play a Specialist, which wouldn't be that bad, but... You know, but barring something like that, I think this game is basically over. Vampire's Vengeance, Brotherhood's End, probably not in their deck. Good old Godric. Well, alright. Maybe Brotherhood's End is in their deck. Usually mono red decks play Vampire's Vengeance, because it's a card that doesn't always kill her stuff. But, sure, that was brutal. Alright, play Specialist, which is obviously at its best here. Get back Coppercoat Vanguard. I have a 4-2 lifelinker with Ward. And I've got a Lay Down Arms, and an Adeline, a Spellbook Vendor, and the Life Total Advantage. Feeling pretty good. It's hard for them to kill us because of the Ward. And then 1 attack from this, gaining us 4 life, will be huge. I mean, you can see how, like, Lay Down Arms, you know, there's kind of like an aggro mirror, so you think you wouldn't want to give your opponent life. But we're the bigger deck here. You know, we're the control deck. We're the more high end deck. We're a deck looking to play a longer game, so we don't mind giving them life for an excellent removal spell. It's funny. Ossification and Lay Down Arms give white 2 of the best removal spells in the entire format right now. Charming Scoundrel, not a very exciting card on this board. Gonna make a treasure. Interesting. So, 1-1. Does not battle too well here. Gonna say go. Wow, alright. I mean... Huh. Kind of an odd play. You'd think the 2-2 would be a lot more valuable, so why do they want the treasure so bad? Alright, we're just gonna add away. I mean, they could have a shock, I guess. But... we're pretty happy to just get an attack here. So get our attack, get our token. Love to gain 4 life. 2 removal spells in hand. Only 1 planes in play, which is a little awkward. But we can't actually kill much of this right now. But they're going to block. They have a Monstrous Rage. Okay. Brotherhood's End would not kill the Adeline this time around. So not even scared of that, really. I think we're in good shape. Let's search for treasure. So even with the Brotherhood's End this game, which was pretty devastating, honestly, it killed 5 of our creatures. Still looking pretty good here. Sweet. We'll take it. On the play. Alright. 1/1/2 removal spell. Not the most exciting hand. We're lacking in some of our bigger boppers like Adeline or Thalia or whatever, but it's not bad, honestly. Officer, Initiate, Vendor. We'll decide if we're going to hold the Vendor for value and try and make sure we get a Sorcerer's roll immediately or just play it on turn 2, but interesting question here, what do you play first, Initiate or Officer? We're going to play the Officer. Higher damage output. Dark Slick Shores. So, possibly an Esper variant. Possible cut down, go for the throat action. We are thinking here for a while. Debating cut down, perhaps. Could be a soldier deck, I suppose. They're gonna ego drain me and get rid of a card in their own hand. What a psycho. Alright, sure. So Thoughtseize, discard a card. I would take this all day. We found testing for Worlds, the fairy decks were just awful. Just significantly worse than the blue-black mid-range decks, which were significantly worse than the Esper decks. You get access to some pretty cool spells, but they're not that much better than like Duress and, you know, go for the throat and make disappear. And you're forced to play a bunch of pretty mediocre creatures to do so, and you just can't really close fast enough. You're better off playing good cards. So, see how it goes here, obviously. But that was our testing result. Testing for Worlds. Blue Black Fairies it is. We draw an Adeline. I think we're gonna jam Adeline here. It's probably gonna get countered or killed, but like, what are they likely to play on turn 3? They could have like a Kaido maybe or something like that. Are they gonna tap out again? Probably not. We need to start working on these things. Try and keep our Officer alive for next turn, so drawing cards. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it. It's probably not going to work, but I think it's fine given the context of like what we already have in play. Wow. Alright, never mind. So it all worked. It resolved and lived. We got our token, we got our training trigger. Oh, it's got Fairy Mastermind, for sure. A card this deck loves to see. Just a vanilla 2/1 flyer for the most part. And at this point, the game is not over, but we are in absolutely phenomenal shape. We have a must-kill creature in play, a good board otherwise, a removal spell in our hand. You know, a lot of the cards they would play here, you know, Kaido or whatever, all just pretty unexciting. Fisher's Foundry, alright, so land. We went to combat, we get to attack here, we get to pump this thing, make a token, everything's great. If they kill the Adeline, we still get attack. And now you have activation up on the thing, so they have Fairy Fencing for 1, sure. So that's fun. We can still attack for a nice chunk of 5. We'll activate the Officer because we have no nothing else to play, which is fine. Let's make a trade. Officer reveals a Vendor, great. Now they're at 10. We're at 20. They have no board. They are playing Shield or something like that. We have a removal spell for it, which they know about, I guess. Then we have Vendor and Factory. Or Foundry, I mean. Shoulders. Yeah. Still got our little pumpkin dude here. Alright, so let's get a play Vendor. We're gonna try and make our pumpkin guy into a sorcerer. We're gonna spell stutter. Sure. Scribe. Adversary's fine. Deal 2. Vendor's been an excellent new card from Wilds of Eldraine. The ability to obviously augment your creatures is great, but the scries are really good too. You know, one of the fears of the aggro deck is that like you run out of gas. You know, you draw 6 lands, 7 lands, whatever, and the constant scries really help. So again, playing fairies. Interested in a card like Wedding Announcement, even though Thalia is still pretty good against them. I would say Peacekeeper is not great against them. Adversary not great either. Pretty easy to kill. Don't really want lay down arms. Honestly, the ossifications aren't that exciting either. Obviously awkward to bring an announcement. We have Thalia, but Thalia is a must kill anyways. So that's fine. No, I haven't have any interest in Wandering Emperor. Not really. I don't think. I think we're gonna shave an ossification. Obviously, we're scared of Shieldred, but we're going to keep a few answers to it and then just try and go wide. Also, Invasion of Gobacon's kind of cool, but I don't think it's really what we want against them. This is more of a card against like the bigger decks. You know, we're going to remove some 1-mana spell and make it cost 3, which is not particularly great. So, yeah, let's cut an ossification and bring in the 4th wedding announcement. And if we see a lot of Shieldreds in game 2 and 3, or game 2, we'll consider the 4th ossification for game 3. But feeling pretty good here, honestly. Again, the card quality in the fairy deck is just, the creatures just aren't good enough, and the spells they're fine. But, you know, there isn't really like a Bitter Blossom kind of card to hold the room together. Alright, so I've got a mulligan here. Obviously, it's a 1-lander. It just doesn't really work out. He promised me there was 2 planes on top of my deck I would keep, but... Oh my god. Found all the lands. Alright. Going to 5 is pretty tough. We do have 3 spell lands, effectively. Right, we're going to keep this and be really, really sad about it, honestly. But... This is, you know, planes, I have mulligan, but we have enough things going on here. Obviously, our first draws of planes. Couldn't have scripted that one better, but we'll see what happens. Just turn off all the lights, nobody look. Oops. We draw Adeline. Alright, so kind of interesting that, like, trading with a Fairy Masterminder wouldn't be ideal. They have 2 Underground Rivers. Unfortunately, we can't really punish the damage, but alright, we'll attack. They have a Fairy Masterminder? No. Play Foundry and take out. End step gonna cut down, sure. So they were trying to hold cut down for a Thalia or something like that. Ended up taking some damage for it. Here's an island. Kaido. So Kaido is a good card, but it's only really good when you play it and then have a creature already in play. This pattern of like playing it and then making a ninja is not great, you know. Makes the card very, very slow and vulnerable to this thing dying. We draw Extraction Specialist. Pretty good draw, actually. So this is where, you know, you really don't want to play Adeline, like have a naked Adeline, because we play it and they just kill it and get any value. Specialist is a great draw. If I get Specialist, put a 3/2 lifelink in play, return my creature to play, which is awesome. Have a threat for Kaido, have a creature for Adeline, and if I kill the Specialist, I still have a creature in play for Adeline, which is insane. So, very good draw. Card's excellent. Huge fan of this card. Really, really cool design, too. In paper, I have the creature that is attached to it upside down to denote that it can't attack. It's definitely interesting. We tested on Arena for the Worlds almost entirely in the testing house. Now we played the event in paper. So kind of just, you know, fun to figure out how you play your cards in paper online. So they have Kaido going. We can pressure it, obviously. We have a Ganja for the Ninja, if it comes down to that. You know, this is a little scary because they have got one of their engines online, which is very important for them. Lights out. Sleeper's Fairy, sure. Well, another Mishra's Foundry. Alright, so we're going to take our shot at Kaido, but we're going to play Adeline. So let's play Adeline. We might as well hold the Foundries. Play Adeline. If they counter this, Kaido dies, which is great. If it lives, Kaido dies. Or if he gets to attack with it, so awesome. Beginning of combat, so if they want to kill my Specialist before I attack, then this thing can attack, which is awesome. So, nice little squeeze here on the Kaido. Really great. So trade 1 for 1, get to kill Kaido, which is awesome. They got to draw 1 card. Kaido was effectively 3 mana, make a 1/1 blockable draw card, which is fine. You know, like, nothing to be scared of. So they have a Fairy in play, isn't doing much right now. We have an Officer, start drawing cards off of. This thing's getting in, gain some life. We have Tibble Ganjo in our hands. So despite the fact that we drew a lot of lands this game. Alright, so now they play second Kaido. This is where Kaido's really good. There's already a creature in play. You get to go to 4 and draw a card. So that's pretty good for them. This is not a land, though. Interesting. So here's Foundry. So you get to just attack. Can't attack Kaido. It's not there. Attack with this. Gain some life. Play an Officer. And so you go. And now we have a Ganjo plus Officer up. This is what I was saying about the Fairy deck kind of like not really clocking you that well. All of their threats are just very small and slow, so you just have lots of time against them to do your thing. And most decks in Standard are just very, very powerful, so if you give them time to do their thing, they'll do really well. Alright, so we're not going to Ganjo here. We kill this. This thing's going to be attacking next turn anyway, or they play a creature here, so we're not guaranteed to kill their only creature with this, so we're not going to bother. We're just acting with the Officer, get some more gas going.
What do we have here?
Alright, that is one of the best cards in the format against us, unfortunately. This is a card that we didn't think we would see much of at Worlds. Didn't see anywhere, because white was very off the radar. White did pretty well at Worlds. Not that well, you know. But this is, you know, the hammer sideboard card, where this is the one card that makes you not want to play white. You can beat it, but it is very, very powerful. So get a Thalia. Kaido's on 5. So even 2 Foundry hits wouldn't kill it. Kind of sucks. Alright, so we're going to play one of these Ganjos. We're going to fire up one of these Foundries. We're going to take a shot at this Kaido and play Thalia and Skrelv. So despite a lot of really bad things happening to us this game, we've only getting 6. We had effectively a 6-land hand. We got Glistening Deluge. They Kaido'd us on 3. We're still doing kind of fine, honestly. I mean, they missed some land drops. Their plays have been somewhat impactful, but not like a ton. Yeah, a lot of my team playing mono white at Worlds was due to the fact that we thought this card would be non-existent. We were correct. So, alright, land number 4. We have the one of Ganjo. We have 2 Legends in play also, so Ganjo only costs 1, which is kind of nice. We have double Foundry also. We activate 1 Foundry, attack with it, pump it, a Ganjo, Skrelv to defend, Thalia attacks. Alright, we're going to defend Thalia, sure. And they're just going to loot. So once Kaido starts looting, it's not particularly good for them. Discard a Dream Thief, sure. Cool card, but a very, like, you know, 2011 power level Magic card. Magic cards are so good these days. This sort of, like, synergy small piece isn't really good enough. It makes me very, very sad. So I love synergy cards, but... Alright, they have 2 mana up. We're going to play Alley. We can pay for Spell Stutter, so... If they want to make disappear, it's very great. So we have Adeline now. Now we also have an active Skrelv, too. Alright, we're going to fire up the Foundry. Now you get to attack this Kaido. We could risk the Skrelv attacking also and try and kill it, but not worth it. I think that they have a bunch of gas in their hand. They missed some land drops. They obviously have 5 spells in their hand. So, just going to attack, make our token. Keep Skrelv up. Just keep chipping away at the Kaido. Oh yeah, they have the untap here. Right, that works. I kind of missed that. This has been so relevant for so long, I just kind of forgot about it. Sure, so they untap here, we can just Skrelv. Give us Pro Blue and still lose token, which is fine. That's a tough call, actually. Yeah, I just forgot the untap completely. Yeah. So, very interesting choice what we do here. They're just going to Mastermind, actually. Wow, okay. That's fine. We're happy trade. We love trading here. This is a very, very odd play. I don't know why trading Mastermind for Foundries seems better than untapping Fairy to block. When you kind of made a blunder, maybe just like didn't really capitalize. Like that, sure. Right? And now we have Skrelv up safely, which is great too. So Skrelv and Adeline's pretty great. We have a Ganjo for the Sleep Curse Fairy. 2 legends in play, so it'll cost 1/2 ward. They can attack and draw off Kaido, but then have to use the mana to untap it. Good old Skrelv. Cute little guy. They're going to loot again. They're not going to attack and draw. Looting is obviously much worse than just drawing a card. Could have been a ninja too, but... Discarding the Underground River. Going to play Halo Forger. This can flash back a card from their graveyard. If they flash back a targeted removal spell, we have Skrelv. They want to kill Skrelv, that's fine. Play X is 2, going to go for the throat. Doesn't make any sense. What is making some questionable choices here. Sure. So, opponent could have played a little tighter, obviously, but definitely I think this game was somewhat endemic of the issues of fairies, where the cards are just too small and too low impact, where we kept a 6-lander, got Glistening Deluged, and, like, we still won, even though, I mean, maybe they played, like, tighter, maybe we would have lost this game, but, like, You can see this have just low impact. Fairy Mastermind, Sleep Cursed Fairy. Those cards are just really, really unexciting. On the play. Alright, not a great hand. Obviously we have 2-drop, 2-drop, 2-drop. You know, there is some dyssynergy between Thalia and Virtue of Loyalty. We can kind of play around that, obviously, or just pay 3 for it, whatever. We're going to keep this hand. No 1-drop, no big 3-drop, you know, but realistically, Thalia turn 2 on the play is pretty good. Vanguard's nice. Virtue Token's also not a human, so the Virtues are a little mirror action for us, huh? Alright, so that's pretty exciting. Play land. Virtue of Loyalty is going to be huge here. Going to be really, really important. I think I might actually just play the Virtue on turn 2. The playing Thalia is almost irrelevant, because obviously it's a mirror. We have almost no spells in our deck, so just they go. We're going to have our Virtue. Obviously, there's a really bad pause, because like, maybe it should be super obvious we have this. And they probably want to attack. We'll see. Big tense moment. Will they attack? Alright, so smart play from our opponent, not attacking. Very good. They play a Thalia, which is annoying, because we obviously want to guess Virtue this game, but I think we're fine. We draw a land, which is great. We're just going to Spellbook Vendor and then attack. Get our Vendor on. Pay the 1. Get the Sorcerer's Roll on. Attack for 3. Top card's Hopeful Initiate. We could do better than that. I'm going to ship that. We're also like somewhat in the market for lands, because you want to cast this 6-mana Virtue of Loyalty, so let's go. Next turn can be Vanguard. We're simply not going to play our Thalia, because we want to be able to cast this. This is a huge mirror breaker. The ability to kind of grow creatures out of sizing or whatever is great. You know, mirror is all about sizing up, so. Also right now, they don't have any good Vanguard attacks, which is great too. So they're going to Vanguard. They're going to not attack, actually, which is interesting. Did we just bottom that card? We did just bottom that card. Cue the X-Files theme. So we're just going to go Vanguard, Initiate, get a thing. We can't attack anymore because of the Thalia, which is fine. This is what happens a lot in the mirror, where things get bogged down. You can't really attack anymore. Play this, combat, pay 1. Just going to put it on the vendor itself, I think. Yeah. Imagine eventually we'll have a Sorcerer's Roll on all of our creatures, but you need to draw 1 more land to cast this Virtue of Loyalty. And then once that comes down, we are golden. Alright. Everybody grab a Snickers, folks. I can only assume they're going to name Virtue of Loyalty. So, they see my hand. And now we need to find another way to get through. We can Ganjo over Thalia. So that what does open up attacks. So, they're going to name a Ganjo, actually. Wow. So, Ganjo currently costs 5. That might be a mistake on their part, honestly. I think naming Virtue of Loyalty would have been a huge play. But sure. We're going to play a land. You know, we're not going to play Thalia. We're going to play Officer. And the question is, do I want an Officer or do I want to Spellbook Vendor? We're just going to Officer, I think. So we'll just take up. Really want to draw a land, but you know, drawing an Adwin or something like that's fine too, I suppose. We're going to Ossification. This is going to hit the Vanguard. It's the only legal target. Sure. That's fine. Also, once the Virtue gets going, we can counter our Initiate. So we get to kill the Ossification, which is pretty cool too. So, just really want to draw a land. Honestly, there's no 2 ways about it. Here comes Thalia. That can, yeah. Please attack with Thalia. Attack with the Peacekeeper. Let's activate our Officer and see what we get. Oh, the Thalia, great. And 3 lands on top too. Oh man, it's brutal. All right, so I don't want to trade here with this Peacekeeper. I think I do. Just lower the cost of. I should put a Ganjo, but sure. I think we still just get to block here. The reason not to block is if we draw a land exactly, then we get to play the Virtue and have another creature in play. Yeah, it's not block actually. Also, keep multiple blockers is good against Thalia. Thalia can't attack either, so just take 4. No problem. Untap, draw land, please. Hell yeah. Alright, so play land. And no good attacks. Play Virtue. We're just going to do our thing. So, no attacks. Pump the squad. And now we're sizing up and they're not. So, if they have a way to get counters on the Initiate, they can possibly destroy it, but they're pretty far from that. They're going to Ossify again. This time on the Spellbook Vendor. It's fun. We're still sized up really well here. They attack for 4. We're not going to block. Then we're going to untap and draw Coppercoat Vanguard. The Initiate will grow on the attack, which is pretty good. We've got the Vanguard. We can play our own Thalia now, which is fine. Activating our Officer is... Also, now we have the ability to remove counters. So we can actually get back our stuff, too, which is kind of awesome. So we could actually just go Vanguard. I guess actually playing Thalia has some value too, because it taxes their future ossifications. Because we could right now just remove 2 counters, disenchant, get back the Spellbook vendor, and then start getting Spellbooks going too. I think I like that. Yeah, let's do that. Activate this. Target the one on this. Remove these 2 counters. Keep the combat. Pay the 1. Put the roll on the Initiate. Or put it somewhere else. We're not gonna attack here. I don't want to trade, so just put it here. Whatever, sure. There you go. No attacks. Pump the squads. There you go. We have infinite counters for Initiate now, which can remove counters off anything, not just itself. We can just kill the ossification, start playing more creatures, and at this point, you know, we're sized up where like all of their attacks are, all their blocks are just awful. So next turn, the attacks will probably begin. Or look and see. That works too. So, into sideboarding, things change a lot. We're going to bring in 3 Daylight Arms, 3 Destroy Evils, and 4 Wedding Announcements, and 2 Emperors. We're going to cut all the Thalias, and we're going to cut basically any card that's just not going to make an immediate relevant impact. Peacekeeper's gone. Specialist is interesting. It has some value returning things. I don't know. Hopeful Initiate's pretty good at killing enchantments. The officers like aren't great, honestly, because they're just gonna get, you know, stonewalled pretty quickly. Actually, like 2 of those. Vanguards are important as far as sizing up goes. Adversary similar. Ossification vendor. Haven't actually played the mirror, honestly. One of the things we tend to not do in testing is test the mirror, because usually our team is playing the deck. We should do that. Officers and Mana Sink, which is kind of nice. The game's going to be all about just going super wide, growing all of our creatures. I guess like our important creatures are never going to get in combat, so just get rid of the... Or they're going to get exiled to get rid of those. And then maybe we shave an Initiate and like shave maybe a Spellbook vendor. The Adversary seems kind of useful. It's like a big pump later in the game. Let's shave a vendor. Also, Skrull's very important because everything's white. It's just a way to like just attack for 1,000,000, which is kind of cool. Shave a vendor. We have other things to spend our mana on, I think, now, so let's try this. I'm not exactly sure, I'll be totally honest, but... Alright, so on the draw, 1, 2, 3. Not great, honestly, because we want to have more removal spells, but we got the removal spell, so... And if it works, it'll work, but obviously Adeline's going to be targeted under heavy fire, so... Here's a vendor, sure. We have to just play land. That's pretty good, actually. Alright, so we have a beatdown draw here on the draw, which is not ideal, but play Vanguard, attack. They want to trade. Awesome. They don't. Awesome. Next turn, play Adeline. Kind of get our ball rolling here. They're going to go to combat and Vendor, make a 3/3, sure. Alright, so get it for 3. On the top. No blocks. And they're going to play a recruitment officer. Sure. And an officer, sure. We can see here how the officers aren't great because like the board gets gummed up really fast. So like Savannah Line just isn't very exciting. Play Adeline. We actually have no good attacks here, so we can't really attack. That's fine. Just chill. Next turn we can lay down arms to Vendor. They'll probably kill our Adeline. We'll play a new Adeline. Just keep saying Adeline over and over again. Adeline, 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 Adeline. Adeline. And they were eyeing it, so. Barukathar. Okay, I probably do not have it on our list. Interesting. This is a pretty good card in the mirror, honestly, because the ability to flip it back and forth is actually very relevant. Although there are a lot of removal spells, so. They're going to have it both of their officers. I mean, I wanted to kill the vendor, but I kind of need to kill the Barukathar now, I think. Even though I have a second Adeline. This is an interesting question. I kill the Barukathar, I get back Adeline. I'm going to want to trade here. Actually, I might do this. Realistically, because now they have 4 lands and 2 cards, so the card draw matters. I might just like trade, kill this, get Adeline back, and just say go. It does suck to have an extra Adeline in my hand, but I think Barukathar is going to be a problem as the game goes on. We're on the draw here too, so we have more cards. There's a Skrelv. Okay. Play Skrelv. Now, I'm just going to lay it on arms with Barukathar. Again, I don't think we can afford them to like start flipping it. I don't think. Yeah. Alright. Exile this. Get back Adeline and say go. Now, if they want to kill it, they have to kill it now. Or I can Skrelv it. And I have a second copy, which is great. Wow, multiple Barukathars? Man, that's really good in the mirror. Really good. So, that's not good for us. Alright, they attack. They scry. They have 5 lands in play. They top. We draw another basic thing. Not so good. And now we play an Adeline. If the Barukathar dies, we just like lose an Adeline basically, which kind of sucks. But I don't really have a choice here, so. Okay. It's a card I didn't even consider boarding in. Doesn't seem great. I guess they can attack it now and win the battle. Does scale up, I guess. It's an interesting one. Didn't really consider bringing that one in, but. Alright. Yeah, I mean, they win the battle here. It's hard to tell if they're going to win this game because of Invasion of Gobekhan or in spite of Invasion of Gobekhan. So our draw's been pretty bad. Alright, no point blocking, so they're going to win the battle anyway. We get to grow now, too, and now they have a hexproof trigger. Yeah, I think we're just dead here. Alright, so. Wow, man, what a draw. Alright, they just have it all. Alright, yeah, we're super dead. Pretty good draw on our opponent's side. They draw. We draw another land. Yeah, I mean, I can, like, name white and attack and get a token, but, like, it doesn't really do much, and we're just dying on the board here, too. I guess I might as well, right? Alright, so. Choose white. Attack. Activate this for a little extra pumps. But yeah, not great for us. They can block the token. They take 4. They do take 1 poison, I guess. There's always that. We got that going for us. Now it goes to night. Now if they double spell, this thing flips again, and we're just like getting obliterated. Yeah, Barukathar is a solid card in the mirror. There's Hopeful Initiate, sure. Gonna vend again. There's books for everyone. It's like a children's book fair. They just smashed for 1 million. Yeah, we're just dead here. Scry both. We have like no reasonable walks. I guess we like try and block the vendor. So if we draw our removal spell for the brute, I mean they have Facility Array anyway. Yeah, I just don't really see a way out here, but give it the old college try. I'm sorry, we should block this actually. We block like this though, they just kill the Foundry, and then when this thing dies, we get back a second Adeline. That's irrelevant, but I think it's still fine. Might sack the array, maybe. What is first strike anyway? Oh, and they don't. Yeah, all right, sure, whatever. It doesn't actually matter. So, just a disaster. Forgot I had first strike, but we're just super dead anyway, so. Yeah, draw plane. Perfect. Complaint equity on the planes, too. That's great. All right, so we've got a game 3. Their draw was pretty good in that game. We'll try and do a little better. Don't think anything changes for us. Pretty happy with our layout, so. On the play. I mean, this is like kind of like the hand we want, you know, a little bigger, but it's not great. We're going to keep it and not be thrilled about it, but Wedding House is pretty good. Have few removal spells. Removal is actually worse than the draw, I think, but scroll. All right, never mind. Let's just hit that scroll. Let's get our game on here. So hit this thing. Say go. Mistress Foundry. Slow, sure. A Naked Vendor. Right, we'll just draw some virtues, please. Here's an announcement. Make a token. Say go. They're gonna go vend a book. They're not gonna read though. So this is probably a wedding announcement of their own. Not ideal. We draw another planes. All right, well, this one's getting a little rough here, folks. Hit this thing and just say go. A lot of planes. It's a lot of planes. Just say go. Don't want to attack yet. 7 basic planes. And the problem is that, like, it really stinks when you draw 7 basic planes. Because we have 4 Mistress Foundry and 2 Aganjo in our deck. So we could easily just draw, like, lands that do things, too. So we have to draw exactly basic planes to have, like, the flood this bad, but... Tribal Adversary is not a bad draw. I think we're actually going to wait on it. We're going to wait a turn so I can kick it twice. I'm just going to say go here. So we have 2/2s. They're about to have double the amount. They have 2 enhancements to my 1, obviously. So we're in really bad shape here. Here's a Vanguard. Yeah, we're in some doo-doo, folks. No 2 ways about it. Let's just say go. All right, so they get to make it so flip. Oh, wow. Okay. We draw Virtue of Loyalty. That's kind of gas. That is certainly a way out here. We kind of committed to Adversary pump twice. We could pump once and then play a Knight and then play Loyalty next turn. Definitely want the body. Yeah, we're going to do that. We can't afford... We could just go pump twice, then next turn go Knight plus Virtue. Yeah, let's do that. Look at this. So we're going to have 4 4s to their 3 2s. Obviously, they just killed the Adversary. That was like really, really bad. Can't believe they didn't attack last turn. Alright, I think we're all in. I think that, like, if we only do it once, they may just act with everything, which you can't win. So we have to just, like, hope they have our removal spells. We'll do it twice. This gives me 4 4s. And then just hopefully they just don't have a removal spell. If they have a removal spell, we're going to lose. But we're so far behind right now, we can't even really do anything. Wow, they have Virtue too? Oh my god, what a draw. What a dream draw for our opponent. Double announcement, Vanguard, Virtue. Man. Oh, they don't have a land though. Okay. Alright. I mean, probably no chance, but we draw late on arms. We now get to Virtue and then Virtue. We can lay down arms to the Van. Let's just yes, again. So they may just have like maybe it's a land again. Like maybe a chance. They also have 2 initiatives though too. So it's like if they get that first Virtue down, they can use the counters to kill my Virtue. Alright. So they need to like not have a removal spell or a land. Trying, you know, like the draw's pretty good, but we're trying our best. Hopefully their hand is just like Naked Specialist. That's a good start. Okay. Another Virtue. Okay. Okay. Do we have any attacks here? Not really, but we're just gonna Virtue again, right? Virtue, or which one here we go. No attacks, double pump, go. Next turn, we get to lay down. Alright, they drew a land. Alright, so they have their own Virtue now. Wow, we're insane. We draw Hopeful Initiate. We can now kill their Virtue and one of their wedding announcements. That's gas. Alright, do I have any good attacks? I have to kill... I could kill both wedding announcements, actually. If I attack with everything... I have to also not die in the backswing there, right? Actually, I'm sorry, everything on zaps. So, if I attack with all 5 of these... I threaten to kill both festivities. Then all their things have 3 power, and their blocks are pretty bad. I think we're actually in pretty good shape here. Back. Like, this is so much damage. And then I can threaten to kill both festivities. To blow them out in combat. And if they don't get blown out in combat, I can just kill a Virtue. And we're going to obviously untap and double pump too. So now even if they kill my Virtues, they've already done so much damage, probably fine. And I have a removal spell too. If we had the 8th mana, we could play Late on Arms on the Vanguard too. But what a game. Whew. What a crazy game. A lot of math here. A lot of math. Math for blockers, etc., etc. We're just remove the counters from this thing. Mostly. It's also, like, easy to miss that, like, this is an attack for, like, 40 or something like that. So, like, you know, while both boards have been sizing up, our life totals have not, you know, so. Alright, so we're going to see 3 blocks on the 7/7. So, if I kill 1 wedding festivity, we'll have 3 and 4. So if I kill 1 festivity, we'll be able to kill 2 of these things. This is a chump block, and I can still kill with the Virtue. That's great. So let's do this. Let's kill one of the festivities. Moving a counter from 2 counters from here. And then now the 7 kills both of these. No way to do better than that, which is fine. And then we'll do that. And damage. Oh, we're just dead. There was a lot of math there, to be fair. Alright, so kind of a wild last game there. The mirror does get a little wonky, but this deck is just super, super solid. We played it in Worlds. 6 of my teammates played it. Me and Sam Party went 6-2. Overall record was very, very good with the deck. It does struggle a little bit against the Esper mid-range decks, which we kind of didn't really account for. It was a very played deck in the format, but just like a really, really solid deck. Great first deck if you're a new Arena player. Great first standard deck. There are a lot of rares in it, but obviously the mana base is super simple, and it's just a good, straightforward deck. It has powerful cards, it curves out, it rewards you for playing its good solid magic, helps teach you good solid magic as far as combat tricks go and curving out, using all your mana every turn. Has nice, transitional sideboard plans, which is pretty great. Deck's just sweet. A lot of fun to play also, really, really cool. So, I'm Jim Davis for the Magic Arena official channel. Big thanks to them for having me, of course. Check out my own content, Jim Davis MTG on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. I stream full-time pro Magic player. I play on all the Pro Tours this year. It's been a lot of fun. Check out my articles and coolstuffinc.com. And of course, drop a like and a sub here on the official Arena channel to see more content just like this one. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you next time.